There, and welcome to another Glyph screencast for YSDN um, 3003 for the typeface design course. In this video, it's going to be very quick. I'm just going to talk about downloading scripts that you can use in Glyphs that will help your workflow. Now, you'll see right now I'm on the GitHub page for Rainer Erich Schneichelbauer. He's one of the lead developers and uh, well, people who develop Glyphs along with George Seifert. And they're both based, at least I think Jorg is based in Berlin, and Rainer is based in Vienna, Austria. And Rainer writes a lot of tutorials for Glyphs. He also develops a lot of Python scripts for Glyphs. Now, in Glyphs, if you're a Python savvy person, you could actually develop Python scripts. You can even open up a Python interpreter, which is under this guy. You can actually run scripts inside here, Python scripts in particular, which could which could throw up user interface tools that you might want to develop for your workflow. But of course, in our class, we're not going to be doing that. We don't have enough time. We're focusing on font design. However, font design can be greatly benefited from having scripts that you might write or that other people have written that help with certain tedious tasks in your workflow. They also help with testing, as we've seen with, in particular, the script that you see me always run, OpenType Variations Player. I like to use that script in particular that Rainer wrote to test things in Glyphs first before I take it into a browser to test my interpolation space. So you'll notice that here under the scripts folder, which is where you will see the scripts come up, I have quite a few different scripts that I've installed. Toshi scripts. They're by Toshio Magari, a really great font designer who works for Monotype. He worked on designing the Noto typefaces, for example, and many other good ones. But Mecha Blue is the handle for Rainer, and you'll notice that he has a ton of scripts. I personally recommend just downloading all of them because if you continue working on fonts after the course, you'll be able to make use of all of these. In fact, he has some really great ones for, of course, doing Arabic workflows. He has some good ones for OpenType feature work. Really, all this stuff is just to speed up the production workflow, hinting if you're doing that. But Masters is where you find OpenType Variation Player and other things as well that you can work with. So I want you to download these scripts, and the way to do that is first we need to find out where do we actually find the scripts, which is on GitHub, and you go to Rainer's scripts and you'll go Glyphs scripts. Okay. The other things that you see there, you can download what are called plugins to Glyphs, which of course are different than a script. I made actually a confusing statement earlier in the video. I said that you can download scripts and run them in the macro panel in the interpreter if you wanted to do user interface things. The plugins would be user interface, which you could write for yourself like you would do for any other application. Scripts will be things that help the processes within Glyphs run more efficiently or more automatically. So you notice in here, these are all of Rainer's scripts that he's written. His plugins are things like Broadnibber, show interpolations. So if you're live previewing your interpolated instances for a current glyph, that's handy. But we're not going to deal with that. We don't really need plugins for our course. We've got the tools we need. What I would do is you just clone or download the zip for Rainer's entire repository. So I'm going to do that right now. And that's going to show up in my downloads. I'm going to throw that onto the desktop. Hey, there's all the videos. Cool. Okay, now once you've got them, you don't need the repository anymore. But what you will need to do is find the pathway to where you install the scripts. Now, it's like installing scripts for other applications. You need to actually go into the application support script folder. Glyphs makes it easy though. You can open the scripts folder by clicking the menu bar. Now what you see under here is that I've got my Glyph script folder organized with modules repositories. So I'm actually tracking a couple of these repositories for if there's an update. And of course that will auto update. You can do it that way, but if you simply want to just install the scripts that Reiner had, what you need is you need to actually have a folder called scripts. So you need capital S scripts. You need that to be in here because Glyphs needs to be able to map this to this folder so that it will pop up in here. Okay, so that's very important. You need that same case and everything. And what you would do is you would unlock the zip folder, unzip it, and you'll throw this into the scripts folder. Now, I'm not going to do this right now because I don't want to overlap and cause any confusion with my glyphs, but what you would do is you would click and drag and drop this in here. And then what you would do then is you would refresh your glyphs, you open it back up again, and then when you click the scripts folder, you should see the name of this folder here, Glyph Scripts Master, which you should really rename something like, I would call it Mecha Blue Scripts. And then what you would see is once you've installed that in here, it's going to show up in here as Mecha Blue Scripts, and you'll be able to access them all like this. Lots of scripts. Okay, that's all for this video.